Hey guys, Meg Collins with Lucy'sList.com. We are here with the fabulous Matt York.
Hi.
That dad Matt with one T.
One.
He was in town, and so we thought we'd take advantage and shoot some cloth diapering videos because I've been promising this content for a very long time, and I've yet to deliver it.
Right.
Because I know nothing about the world of cloth diapering. To me, it was very overwhelming. So I imagine that many of you feel the same way.
Yeah. So
we're going to shoot 2 videos today. We're going to do like an intro, which is just a very high level, what is it, what's it all about, what are all the different pieces. And then part 2, and maybe from that you'll decide if this is for you or not. That's really what we want part 1 to be about, is someone come in and be like, yeah, I don't know, that maybe won't work for me.
Yeah.
And then if you decide you want to learn more, the second half will be sort of his favorite stuff in each category, which is so helpful because, you know, there's so much stuff out there.
Yes, there's so much.
And it's overwhelming. And in the true Lucy's List fashion, we're going to break it down for you and give you our favorites. So starting from the top, so to speak.
So just a little bit. So when I started my cloth diapering journey, I was very overwhelmed. And we went to our Cloth 101 session while we were pregnant, and I left going, there is no way that we can do this.
Right.
They taught me so much, I was so overwhelmed, and so from that, it took us a few months to start our cloth diapering journey. So that's the first thing I'm going to teach you. You don't have to start from newborn. You can come into this at whatever stage you want. I have taught parents of a 1-year-old how to cloth diaper.
Right, because they kind of get through that, like, you know, they're overwhelmed with the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And then they're like, okay, now I'm ready to do it.
But
right?
I think through this process, through 2 kids, through teaching for the last 2 years, I've really found the way to make it simple from the beginning.
Which is great.
And so I kind of teach in order. So we're going to lead with prefolds and flats.
So I think my first reaction, and I spoke to we all talk to our moms and grandmas, right? And we say, well, I'm thinking about cloth diapering, and they go, are you crazy? Because that's what we had to use for you, and it was, I mean, they don't have a good memory of that.
Right.
Because, well, we'll go ahead and talk about the history.
So I mean, modern cloth diapers, really what we see today, people think came about late 80s, early 90s, really has been around since the early 1900s. I want to say the first time that we have a record of using PUL, which is polyurethane laminate, and I'll explain that when we get to the cover, is like in the mid to late 40s, and so, you know, we went through our rubber
but
pips.
most people were
So this is what your mom and your grandma probably know as cloth diapers, and yes, they're stained, sorry, this has been used, this is like my son's. This is a flat. I mean, this is a piece of knit jersey, and you fold it a million different ways and get whatever level of absorbency you want, and this is kind of a class on itself. But what you get out of flats and prefolds is ease of care. You just use it, you throw it in the dirty clothes, you wash it, you dry it.
Presumably it's cheap.
It's cheap. This is the most cost-effective way to
cloth diaper. Aren't terribly cheap.
Right, exactly. I mean, you know, this specific one especially is kind of the Neiman Marcus cloth diapering. And so this is cheap. I mean, you can cloth diaper for as little as $150. From birth to potty training, $150.
Wow.
Kids who are cloth diaper potty trained faster.
Right.
So you are cutting down how long you're using diapers. So you're not just saving the money on the water and electricity it takes you to wash diapers. You're saving that you aren't having to buy disposables as long.
Yep. We talk about that in our potty training bit. I say the best thing you can do for the environment, in my opinion, is just to do it earlier.
Yes, do it earlier. Yeah, I mean, and nothing expedites potty training like cloth diaper.
Right, and that's setting you up.
Yeah, you take away the stay dry and you let them feel their wet, and they're going to learn to pee in the potty.
Right.
Okay, so this is like the most cost-effective way. You can buy 24 flats, 4 covers, and cloth diaper a kid from the day they're born till the day they potty train for $150, $175.
Wow.
We can, on the high end, go into a full stash of a myriad of different diapers, cloth diaper, and still save money, because the average person spends today, and this is not buying expensive all-natural disposables. We're talking just buying regular disposables. They're spending an average of 30 cents a diaper, and they're spending they're buying 3,000 diapers-ish, depending on when they potty train. And that's saying they potty train at 2, which most disposable kids don't.
Right.
Even buying the most Cadillac of diapers, you can still only
Save a
spend.
lot.
You might spend $1,000.
So what would be like that?
$1,000, maybe.
For like the nicest.
$850. You can have 36 all-in-one diapers.
Right, which is a lot.
I mean, that's all you need. They're gonna last through multiple kids, so you're not just saving. If you buy on the first kid, you're saving the next kid and the next kid.
Right. Because you reuse.
Some of these Prefolds and some of my all-in-ones are still for my daughter. We changed prints because we had a boy second.
Right.
And so there's been a lot of rotation in our cloth diapering session. The thing, this is an investment. You're retaining value on your cloth diapers. There is a massive resale market on diapers.
Yeah, right.
You're maintaining value here. This is, you're going to retain an average of 50 to 75% of what you spend on a diaper.
Right. So that's the eco reason.
Yeah. So
the cost saving.
Yeah,
reason.
Exactly.
And
because it's cute.
They're so cute.
This is pretty.
I know.
Like, who doesn't want to see their little girl in this?
You need to
Who doesn't want to see their little boy in
know.
retro travel trailers? You know what I mean?
So there's a lot of great reasons to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And can you do it?
Can you do it? So
do you have the gusto?
You need a washer and dryer.
Mm-hmm. And I would say, what about people who are laundromat people?
Okay, so it can be done. That's kind of a whole different can of worms. It can be done. I can provide you with some information that you can share with followers for that to be possible.
So maybe we
there are, I know moms in New York City that call diaper. Okay? Laundromat.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be done. You just have to get your groove and your style.
Okay.
So flat, most cost-effective way. When we move on from a flat, we move on to Prefolds. So these are two kind of different kinds and sizes. Prefolds are sized. Mm-hmm. This one's made of hemp and organic cotton. This one's made of bamboo and organic cotton. There's ones with
And this is really what you see a lot.
This is what you see the most of. Yeah, I don't recommend, not to call it a brand, I don't recommend like the Gerber Prefolds you find at Babies R Us or Walmart. Those are filled with polyfill and they actually have no absorbency whatsoever.
Okay.
Those are burp rags.
Right.
We want to buy at least...
These are like multi-purpose.
Right, exactly. So there's different sizes.
And for these, you're not going to be using a diaper pin like our parents did,
yes,
right?
I have a snappy somewhere in here.
Snappy.
Yeah, actually I have one in this little... we're going to use a cute little snappy.
Right. So there is equipment out there.
There's equipment out there, yeah. These aren't the most diapers. So basically a Prefold is a flat already folded for you. Most Prefolds are going to go...
Can you fold for us real quick?
Fold this.
Can you just show us like an example of...
Yeah, so a basic fold is fold into fourths. Grab a corner. I'm going to pull it out and make a triangle.
Ah, it's like a little origami.
Flats are origami. That's exactly what they are. The basic bikini fold is this. I'm going to have my triangle. And what's great about these is, and then I'm just going to roll this up in the center, and now I've got 2 layers on the side, 8 layers in the center.
Can we show that?
You can show that, yeah, absolutely. You can
it's kind of hard to see.
Flip it around.
Yeah.
So, and
you just have to know a little folding.
It just goes on.
And maybe we can link to a folding
guide.
I can.
I have a folding guide. Yeah, so we can link to this. There we go.
And then you put the snappy on.
So a lot of people that are intimidated by flats don't realize I can just sit while I'm like watching TV at night, fold all my flats, put them up on a shelf, and every time I go to put on a diaper, it's done.
For the next
I can fold them like this, shove them inside a cover, and have them in my diaper bag.
Easy.
So easy.
How many per day?
So newborns are going to go through 10 to 12 diapers per day. And as they get older, it's going to lessen.
Right.
So that's why we say the core number of diapers you need is 24 because you're going to wash every 3rd day. We'll get to wash routine later, but you're going to wash every 3rd day. And so 24 diapers get you through 2 days. You wash that night. You have more diapers for the next day.
So it could be as simple as 24 of these.
Exactly. And then
on
about 4 of these,
entry level.
because this is what gets dirty, and this doesn't typically, but we all know poop has its own way of getting on things.
Right.
So you need a couple of extras just to switch them out. My rule of thumb, really 32 to 36 diapers. It's the best number to have. It gets you through your wash routine. If you're doing something like flats or Prefolds, 36 flats or Prefolds, 6 to 8 covers.
Okay.
You're still under $300.
Okay. Great to know.
Good to know.
All in 2.
So, yeah. So, moving on. And this is your ease of care.
Yeah.
This is your ease of care.
Right.
This can all be washed and dried. you use a cover over it. So this is what waterproofs it. This is pool polyurethane laminate.
Okay.
Sounds like scary, but all it is laminated polyester. When I stretch it, you can kind of see there's holes. The holes let air go in and out, but no moisture.
Right.
So this is what waterproofs. A good cover, in my opinion, is going to have double gussets.
So what type of diaper is this now?
So this is just a cover.
Okay, just a cover.
This will go over Prefolds, flats, fitteds, anything that has no absorbency on the outside. This is what your tool is.
Gotcha.
Is to go
Keeps
over
you from
that.
getting wet?
Yeah, keeps you from getting wet. Yep, absolutely. And so when you find a good cover, it's going to have double gussets. One gusset is going to hug the fabric. Double gussets. One gusset is going to hug the fabric. The other gusset hugs the thigh.
I would never know any of this.
Yeah. So the other one gusset hugs the fabric. This one right here, and then the other gusset hugs the thigh.
Keeps everything in place.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then these are called yokes. Most brands call them yokes.
Okay.
What it is if I have this pre-fold here and I just fold it, I can lay it in.
Stick it right in.
And this is once we move past running newborn poop. I just lay it in, and then it's held in place.
Boom.
Done.
Awesome.
If you want something that's a little bit quicker, you don't want to have to roll, tuck, and fold, you don't want to have to use a snappy, you want to still have the ease of care of having your pre-folds, or having, the part you wash and dry and the part that you hang dry.
So separate things.
Separate things.
Right.
We go to an all-in-two system. This is all of our absorbency.
And so there's all these acronyms.
There's all these acronyms, yes.
So
and
all-in-two is
I need to write you an acronym guide.
What is all-in-two?
AI2.
AI2. Okay.
So all-in-one is AIO, all-in-two is AI2.
Just to be confusing.
Yes, just to be confusing. FT or FTD is fitted.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Prefold is PRF usually.
You know what? We should do an acronym guide.
We're going to make one.
Okay.
Sorry.
We're gonna do it.
Okay, so this is an all-in-two. Basically, you have a cover with a insert that typically snaps in and out.
Right. Specifically made for this?
Usually, so that's one thing.
So
you have to be brand.
Okay.
So with prefolds and covers or flats and covers, anything goes together.
Right.
You can buy whatever brand to go with whatever brand for the most part.
Right.
But with all-in-twos, you're going to be buying a system.
And the benefit is I don't have to pre-fold a bunch of stuff.
I don't have to pre-fold a bunch of stuff. I just snap these. So like, we're leaving baby with grandmom and granddad, and we're dropping them off.
And you're not going to do that to them because you're not needing
Right.
it.
You're just going to drop them off. You're going to have a few extra covers. You're going to have 6 to 8 inserts. If baby poops and it runs off, they'll have an extra cover.
Okay.
If not, and we're just dealing with pee diapers, we just snap these in and out, and they're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, all types of materials. I'll get into materials at the end.
Okay.
But yeah, just snaps in and out, and it works just like a cover.
So that's an all-in-two.
All-in-two.
Okay.
And so on this cover, we saw snaps. This is a hook and loop. So Velcro.
Otherwise known as Velcro.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say Velcro.
Velcro!
But this is hook and loop. In the next video, I'll get into why I love this specific hook and loop.
Okay.
But this is hook and loop. Great for little kiddos. But once they get to running around, if you let them run around in just their diaper, they're going to figure this out pretty quickly. Yep, absolutely. And so...
There are a ton of little tips and tricks.
Yes, that I will throw in there.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
In our next segment.
So from all-in-twos, you're going to go to all-in-ones. So what this is your most...
AIO.
AIO. This is your most,
dynamic.
User-friendly.
Okay.
User-friendly.
So more expensive?
Definitely. Or, I mean, yes. But you're getting everything sewn together in one. All I'm doing is diaper on, diaper off, diaper on, diaper off, diaper on.
Unit.
It's
Everything
a unit.
stays together as a unit.
And so the next thing that happens here is that when I get ease of use, we have a little bit more care. So these typically should hang dry. I don't recommend anything that's got pull on it. I personally don't dry it.
Don't dry it.
There are brands that allow it.
Isn't that the case with everything? In
Right.
the world?
We hang dry half of our life. Yeah, if you want stuff,
I
you
know.
can dry this. By all means. This brand specifically says you can't. If you want it to last through multiple kids and you're doing this for money,
Hang it.
hang it.
Okay.
It is worth it. This has elastic in the legs, which gets that good fit. This one is made of organic cotton.
So it's just one piece.
One
That's why
piece.
it's called all-in-one.
And what's really cool, a lot of all-in-ones you'll see now have a tongue system that makes it foldable and buildable. So if I have a boy, I can make my absorbency here in the front. If I have a little girl, I can put my absorbency here in the crotch.
Okay.
all in one, on and off. The whole thing gets dirty every time it's used. And
so more expensive because you're buying more.
Because you're buying more.
Whole thing.
More a whole thing. This isn't getting reused every time, so I'm buying the amount of pool I buy a couple of times every single time.
So do parents sometimes have some of both?
They do.
Okay.
So my recommendation, this is the biggest thing you can take away from this video, and I hope that, you know, this is what you learn. A varied stash is key.
Varied.
Varied.
Okay.
You want to have a variety of things. If you're only doing it for money reasons and you know you can make pre-folds and covers work, go for it. But what I recommend there is don't buy 6 of the exact same cover. Buy a couple of different ones so you know what works best for your kid.
And then buy that.
Because as they grow, they're going to change. So like my daughter fit in one brand from 4 to 9 months perfectly, and then at 9 months it was like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
And she transitioned into a different brand, and then
but
then at like 18 months,
yeah.
she popped right back into that first brand. It's as they do, you know, they do this, they get
their bodies are
bigger.
different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So this is an all-in-one, meaning everything is sewn together.
Okay. So this might be for the busy parent.
For the busy parent.
Who has maybe a little more money to spend.
Daycares prefer these. Casual
let's talk about
caregivers.
daycare.
We
Yes.
will.
Okay.
Casual caregivers.
Okay.
So then we talk about heavy wetters, and we wonder what do we do with that. So we have a couple of options. There are tools you can use. You can put in extra inserts inside of all of this stuff to make it, double them up, make them more absorbent. Or
and people even do that for sposies.
They do.
Yeah.
I know, I cannot tell you how many parents I've called diaper coached that are like, oh, I have to use 2 disposables at night. I'm like, what are you doing there?
I know.
What are you doing there? What are you achieving? I don't even know. Like, 2 disposables on top of each other.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm very sorry too. Please continue.
So this is a fitted. The entire thing is absorbent. So we actually, I believe, have a total of like 16 layers of absorbency, plus all this exterior is absorbent. We've got tongues here. They're typically made of anything from organic cotton up to hemp and bamboo. This is, you like the ease of care of Prefolds, but you don't want to do all the road tuck and folding. This gives you both, and you can use covers.
That's kind of cute.
It is kind of cute.
I can see all the hipster babies in San Francisco.
Right.
Using that.
Well, because this is the thing. When we get to the point where we're so eco-friendly, we want nothing synthetic against baby skin. We don't want that polyester, even though it's really safe, it doesn't hurt. We just want 100% natural. We meet our friend wool.
What?
Now, this is a class all on its own. But the
What do you
basics
do
are,
with that?
so wool is naturally antimicrobial, it's
Right.
naturally moisture wicking.
It's naturally
So,
fire resistant.
it's natural, yeah, it does a lot of things naturally.
Like pajamas.
Right?
Yeah.
So, there's a process called lanolization that you can use to really waterproof your wool.
Right.
You only have to wash this about depending on how much wool you have and how often you use it, every 2 to 4 weeks unless it gets poop on it, and then you can really spot clean it.
So this is a cover of sorts?
This is a cover of sorts, but it's cute. It's pants. It's got an elastic back, and that's the other thing. If you look at all of these cloth diapers, everything has elastic across the back.
Okay.
What do disposables not have?
I know, because the poop goes
The
right
poop
up.
goes up the back.
So one of the questions that we get asked often is, you know, there's different phases at which you can start. You have a newborn, you have a 6-week-old, a 6-month-old, a 1-year-old, right? It's not too late if like you just couldn't wrap your head around cloth diapering during infancy. You just thought you had too many fish to fry. Totally understandable.
Yeah.
You can start later.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So, okay, so let's start with you're pregnant and you want a cloth diaper.
Right.
So your first question to ask yourself is, do I want to buy a newborn stash?
Because they're different, right?
They're different. And so there's options to do like a service and that's really important. There's an option to do a service or a rental program during the newborn stage. A lot of
get you through that.
Yeah, especially if you're in the city, you can use a service through your whole cloth diapering journey and still save $750 to $1,000. But you can use a service that first 6 weeks just to get used to actually diapering,
Right.
and then break in your own wash routine.
Do you recommend that people just use sposies for 6 weeks if you just can't get their
Yeah,
head
if you
around
can't
it?
get your head around, you can absolutely start at 6 weeks. The other thing, but if you're pregnant and you want to buy a stash and you need to decide whether you want to buy a newborn stash, know that if you're looking at like an all-in-one or an all-in-two, most of these start around 10 pounds. I had a 9-pound, 13-ounce baby
I had a 10-pounder.
who was still in newborn diapers for the first 6 weeks of his life.
They were just trying to save us money. Is
Right.
what these kids are trying to do.
But they're still going to be in newborn diapers because newborn legs, I don't care how chunky of a newborn you have, they're little chicken legs,
I know.
and even if they're buttery, it's just a different fit.
Right.
So you want to have a newborn size diaper for your newborns if you plan on cloth diapering your newborns.
What if you don't want to buy a newborn stash?
You then buy covers that are built trimmer, like maybe a Gravia or a Best Bottoms cover, and use things like Prefolds that you can, even if you buy a size small, you can use those for boosters later.
Okay.
If you do want to buy a newborn stash, I love Prefolds and covers for newborns.
Okay.
One of my favorites. If you can't really wrap your head around a Prefold, maybe a pre-fitted is a better option. This brand is Geffen. It even comes down to an extra small, which is 0 to 10.
Like creamy?
Like,
Or no?
I think it's 3 to 10 pounds is an extra small.
Okay.
And then you have like a size small, which is like a newborn, and it goes 8 to 15.
Okay.
This is a medium going like 15 to 25.
Okay.
And if you want something easy to leave, casual caregiver, maybe dad's a little nervous about cloth diapering, there are companies that make all-in-one, so you can see the dip in the front of this is for the umbilical cord. So it's intended to be used from the newborn stage. And
so it's a unique
unique
phase.
Absolutely. And so this has kind of got adjustable absorbency. It's an all-in-one diaper, easy to use, quick on and off. You don't really need a full stash of them, but it's a great tool to have in your arsenal.
So then once your baby becomes 10 pounds or whatever.
Yeah, we can
and
transition.
then you're ready to kind of start
Yeah.
the regular stuff that we already talked about.
Right, exactly. And so say you've got a 9-month-old or a 1-year-old and you want to get into cloth diapering, you can do it just as easily. Yeah, I mean, you could still dive in with prefolds and covers, or, I'll be honest, pinning a prefold around a 1-year-old is not always the easiest thing. So maybe you're jumping straight into all-in-twos and all-in-ones, and you transition. You buy one a paycheck to a paycheck, build your stash, you cloth diaper a couple of days a week, you cloth diaper while you're at home, then you start cloth diapering when you go out.
Yeah.
And
it's
you
not an all
roll
or
into
nothing
it.
thing.
And that's how we started. I mean, we started our daughter was 4 months old. We had enough diapers to cloth diaper while we were home. Then we got enough to cloth diaper while we were out. And that sort of thing.
So this diaper, is this all size diaper?
So it's called a one size,
Uh-huh.
but one size meaning about 10 to 35 pounds.
Starting at 10 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 to 35 pounds.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
The blowout. So you don't get as many blowouts with cloth?
So the biggest question with cloth I always get is, what do I do with the poop?
What do you do with the poop?
Well, I touch less poop than you do with disposables, I guarantee
I
it.
mean, you gotta touch it one way or the other.
The clothes get ruined less because we're having less blowouts. I mean, not saying they don't happen. I've seen it. But if you're doing it right, you're not going to get as many blowouts. So you have a couple of options with the poop. When you have the poop, you can use these fun little guys. These are disposable diaper liners. You can buy a roll of these for anywhere from $7 to $9, maybe $10, usually $100 to a roll, a pretty minor investment. This one's 100% cotton. This one's bamboo viscose.
And this is the only thing that's really disposable.
Posable.
And it's
you can lay it inside.
Is it flushable?
So this one is not, but this one is.
Okay.
This brand, I think just for concerns, says that it's not flushable.
Right. Oh, okay.
I flush them all. This is what saves your diapers. Especially like when my mom's watching the kids, we'll pop these in every single diaper and then it
so that just gives you an extra layer.
And it may not catch all the poop, but it's going to catch 90% of it. The other thing, so exclusively breastfed poop, if you're an exclusive breastfeeder, no formula, no solids, anything like that. So basically if you're breastfeeding the first 6 to 9 months to whenever you decide to start introducing solids, you don't have to rinse the poop at all. Exclusively breastfed poop is 100% water soluble. It's
it just goes away.
It's like pee. There's no meat to it.
Right.
So it just goes away. Solids. Right. And when you start solids, then you have I wish I would have brought it. I didn't have room in my suitcase, but there's a fun thing called a spray towel and a diaper sprayer. So
this stuff changes as your kid ages.
This is a growing process. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So
this is for the infants before.
No. Just all the. I actually don't even start these till toddlerhood.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is
because you don't need this yet.
Yeah, because breastfed poop.
Yeah.
If you're doing formula, this is a great tool. But if you're doing breastfed poop, you don't have to worry about it. It just goes in the washing machine.
So once they start eating hamburgers,
this is what we use because this is going to catch poop.
Okay.
If you don't want to use these because you don't want any form of disposable, you can get a diaper sprayer. Right. It hooks into your toilet. They retail anywhere from $30 to $60.
It's a must-have, right?
It's a must-have. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, it was totally lost before I had a sprayer.
So do we just kind of like take the diaper and spray off the bulk of...
So you can like put it in there, you just spray off the poop. If you want to make sure you're not getting any splatter, there's a wonderful tool called a spray pal.
Right.
It's like a clip. It's like got a clip on it. You lay the diaper inside of it. It domes over it. You spray through it, high pressure, and no poop goes anywhere but straight in the toilet. I mean, when I use my spray pal, there's no poop on anything.
Okay.
Straight into the potty. I keep a bucket or I use a $2 IKEA like mini cubes trash can, and I just unclip them into there, carry them to my diaper pail, dump it, and we're good to go.
Okay, so then the diaper, just real quick, the diaper pail. I mean, do you need to treat it before you wash it?
No. I mean, so if you want to worry about stains, there's a wonderful tool called Bunch of Farmers. Mm-hmm. It's a stain stick made of all natural oils and herbs.
No, so if you don't, so most people just. So straight into your bucket?
So the next thing,
and then straight into your diaper.
And then straight into your washing machine. And this is the next thing. Sun is your diaper's friend. Sun is what gets my stains out. So I sun my diapers a few hours. It helps them dry quicker.
You're just hanging them out in the balcony.
The sun bleaches. Yeah, so like,
line.
Depending on what your living situation is. We live in an apartment called Diaper. We just had a little, like from IKEA, $20 folding drying rack. We put it out on the balcony. Nobody could see it because it was below balcony line. The sun came in. We knew what time to do it.
Good.
If you have a backyard, we now do. We have a clothesline. Mm-hmm. You also need something to carry your diapers in. And that's where wet bags come in. So this is kind of the top of the line.
In your diaper bag.
Yeah, this is what you're carrying around in your diaper bag.
Because you're not going to put a poopy diaper just straight in.
Into your bag, exactly. And honestly, I recommend wet bags whether you cloth diaper or not. I think everyone should have them.
Yep.
So this is a really kind of awesome version. It's double pocketed. We have a clean pocket that we can keep wipes or diaper cream in. This is lined with PUL, the same thing, waterproof layer. Okay. And so it's got this will hold about 8 to 10 diapers, depending on what kind of diapers you use, which is really great. All-in-ones typically take a little bit more space than smaller ones. This is a single pocket wet bag. This is double layer. I love this because it's poly canvas. And what that does is filter that odor, if there's any, way better. 2 layers, single zipper. This is also going to hold about 8 to 10 diapers.
So do you recommend people have a couple of these things?
Yeah, I think 2 to 4 wet bags is ideal.
So put this on your registry if you were thinking about...
Doesn't matter, And then this is kind of the quick on the go, like keep an extra just in case, even for dirty clothes, dropping off at grandma, whatever. Single layer, just PUL. Wet bathing suits. Just, this is compact, easy. It's going to hold about 4 to 6 diapers. And it's great, and it's got unicorns. And then, this is a fun little tool. People ask me a lot, what do I do when I travel? This is a disposable insert that I can use.
Because sometimes you just need to throw it away.
Inside, so when we travel, especially like airport travel, even if we know like we're going to my mom's house and we can wash cloth diapers there, this just sticks in, throw it away, you're good to go. But you're still, this is half the waste. This is actually made from a corn fiber.
Of course it is.
It biodegrades in 3 to 5 years instead of 200 years.
Right.
And 500 years, And so, like, I mean, it's just a nifty little tool. So this is cloth wipes.
I guess if you're going to use cloth diapers, you're not going to use disposable wipes?
I mean, so we're like hybrid people. We use both.
Right.
We actually didn't start using cloth wipes till our second. What cloth wipes are great for is you're going to use 2 cloth wipes to every 10 disposable wipes.
Right.
1 to 2 cloth wipes can clean up an entire poopy diaper.
Okay. Yes, because you have to use so many.
You have to use so many. This, because it's a fiber, it grabs poop better.
And do you wash it the same way?
I wash it just with my diapers.
Okay.
Yep, and I dry them and fold them up and they're good to go. This is a 12-pack. It even comes with its own cute little wipe
I wish
bag.
I knew all of this.
And you can use like, there are people are like, oh, they're dry. How do they clean? Well, you can either get a fun little spray, or you can just pre-moisten them and keep them in the bag separately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
It's great. And so wash routine is really simple. Whether you have a front loader or a top loader, that kind of varies.
So you get a lot of questions about front loaders.
So
they use less water?
Right. So we cloth diaper with a front loader. Some of the tricks that people use, some people soak their diapers in a bucket of water and then dump it in there. I'm not really a huge fan of that.
Okay. Simple enough though.
Right, yeah, it's simple enough. We just do a couple of extra like rinse cycles and don't spin it, and that way there's extra water added in.
Right.
Typically, read your washing machine's manual. Most of the time, delicate or active wear is going to put the most water in the drum.
Okay.
So that's
a
really good
option.
option.
All the washing machines are going to front loading now just to save water. So
yeah, there's a few HE top loaders. Yeah, we're going to have to get on board with. Yeah, absolutely.
Get used to
you want to use HE, no optical brightener, natural detergents, you know. There's a lot of rules out there, but I really say just use whatever you're using on your kids' clothes.
So it's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah. Your first rinse should be cold if you want to get rid of stains, hot if you want to get rid of odor.
Okay.
Then a full wash with your normal amount of detergent.
Okay.
And then another rinse and spin.
So I mean, there's undoubtedly more laundry here.
There is, but let's be honest. Like, you're doing this every third day.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing diaper laundry 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the week.
Can I wash diapers with other clothes?
Ideally, you wouldn't.
Okay. So you kind of want to have your own dedicated diaper cycle.
Diaper cycle.
Okay. And then you can do your special things to it.
Right. I will tell you, diaper laundry gets done in our house. It's not an issue.
Okay.
It takes very little effort. It takes less effort than your regular laundry.
Okay.
I will say we probably spend maybe an hour a week doing diaper laundry.
Okay. So minimal.
Minimal.
Great.
Yep, it's great.
Well,
awesome.
thank you. Is there any little like, tidbits? Part two, we're gonna get
Part
specific.
2, we're gonna get specific. So I think we're good now.
Okay, awesome. All right, stay tuned.